Under the Dome. Under the Dome is a novel by Stephen King, and it was released in 2009. And the book comes in at around 1,070. It is 1,074 pages. So it is quite a hefty book. And basically, what I want to tell you guys is it worth it? You know, with such a hefty book, you want to make sure it's worth it if you're going to invest so much time. And right off the bat, my verdict is yes, it is worth it. I had a lot of fun with this book, and I would recommend it to anybody who likes the style of Stephen King, or anybody who likes just a good book. Now, the premise of this book is that a town called Chester's Mill is suddenly and unexplainably cut off at the border of this town, cut off from the rest of the world by a invisible dome. You can see through it, you can hear other people on the other side, but you cannot leave, people can't enter. So basically these people are cut off and no resources can be brought in to aid them. It's unpenetrable. You cannot, there's multiple things that people try to leave, but it's staying there, and these people don't know why it's there or when, if it does ever leave. And it's a very interesting concept. It says on the back of the book, Stephen King returns to his glory days of The Stand. If you like The Stand, I'm not saying this is the next version or the next The Stand, but I definitely see where that's coming from. It's a kind of idea where it's basically the apocalypse inside of this dome for the residents there, and they have to deal with a lot of issues that the dome creates. Planes crash into the invisible dome, and falling wreckage just rains down on them. The initial impact of the dome is huge, and there are many fatalities. Famous King trope. There are a lot of fatalities from the beginning of this book and the end of this book. The main character is a man named Dale Barbara, and his nickname is Barbie. And he's a ex army drifter who is now living in the local restaurant there as a cook. And basically, when the dome goes down, he is their hope. He is tasked with getting these people out of there, and he doesn't want to be the hero, but he's kind of took those steps as being in the military. And in my opinion, there are parts that could probably have been left out. But overall, everything in this book fits together very well. The characters, they make sense. Like, this town, like the events that happen and the way people react, it makes sense. The characters are lively, and another thing is there are a lot of characters. There are a lot of characters that King follows in this novel. You have a lot of main characters and a lot of minor characters, but all these characters bring something to the story, and they bring a very interesting part to the story. This is a very heavy book, very dramatic book, and it touches on some very heavy subjects. It's a very solid book, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody. Every chapter elevates itself, and it brings itself to a very, in my opinion, a very explosive ending. You learn a lot of interesting things in this book. Stephen went into a lot of detail in what would actually happen to the environment and the town inside if a dome, like an event like this, actually happened. It's very informative, and it's very believable. You believe these things would happen, and like I said, the people would react the way they do. Things just go into chaos very quickly. Things deteriorate and people go crazy. People do things they wouldn't normally do in such a survival, like dependency on survival. Overall, I think this was a great read. Definitely worth the time. I think that it would leave you satisfied, and I know it left me satisfied. Ever since The Stand, I've been waiting for something to kind of fill that hole, and this is pretty close, you know? I won't say it's as good as The Stand, but it is a very good book. If I was to give it a rating, I would give it a 8.7 out of 10. So yeah, definitely, if you're interested, I'd say definitely check it out. It's a great novel. Great novel.